You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Trump is turning the government into a brawling cage fight, NYT analysis based on an article by Thomas Kika. The State Department learned to pose. The cage is a message. A White House fight card, a State Department memorandum, and Marco Rubio smiling beside Dana White are not random optics. They are a statement about what this administration thinks power is: spectacle, domination, and permission slips for cruelty. The New York Times piece uses the language of sports diplomacy, but the real function is simpler. Trump is turning government into a branding vehicle for his own instincts, and those instincts are built around humiliation, not statecraft. Who actually decides? The institutional power here sits with Trump. He set the tone, installed the people, and made the presidency an extension of his personal tastes. Rubio and the State Department are not driving this, they are laundering it. By standing beside White and calling it diplomacy, they are helping convert a political preference into official doctrine. That is the mechanism: an administration that knows how to stage a ceremony and less about how to govern. Sports diplomacy as cover. The phrase is doing the work of disguise. It suggests outreach, exchange, and strategy. In practice, it is a glamorized excuse for exporting a politics of brute force. The article notes that the government has partnered with the NFL before. Fine. But the point is not that all sports are equal. The point is that this partnership is a symbolic downgrade in what the federal government chooses to elevate. Symphonies out, cage fights in. Care, rebuilding, and public purpose are replaced by a celebration of injury as entertainment. The rebel export. What the United States is sending abroad here is not athletic culture. It is a self-portrait. The White House is advertising that American greatness now means spectacle, contempt, and the pleasure of watching bodies smash into each other for applause. The quoted misogynist garbage from the South lawn is not a side note. It is part of the same culture. This is an administration that rewards degradation when it comes wrapped in swagger. That is not a policy failure. It is a moral and political preference. Power seeks a stage. There is a deeper pattern underneath the cage. Trump governs by collapsing institutions into his own appetite, then asking the rest of government to dignify it after the fact. Rubio's smiling memorandum matters because it shows how quickly the machinery of state can be bent to perform obedience. This is how democratic institutions rot, not only through overt authoritarian moves, but through eager bureaucratic participation in making bad taste look like national purpose. What this story really shows: the scandal is not that Trump likes UFC. The scandal is that federal power is being used to normalize his worldview as if it were public policy. Once government starts treating domination as a cultural asset, it becomes easier to treat every other form of public responsibility as optional. That is the larger pattern: not governance but enthronement, not diplomacy but performance, not national strength but the cheap theater of a state learning to cheer for its own decline. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternet for today's article, with the automated voice of Arctic. Thanks for listening.